Voice training is a systematic and intentional effort aimed at enhancing an individual's voice skills and capabilities, whether for singing or for speaking. So we look at the two different aspects of the voice, and we we also look at the key components. So the first is respiration. Respiration is in the context of voice. Respiration refers to the process of breathing, specifically the inhaling and exhaling of air. So respiration is basically the inhaling and exhaling of air, the process of breathing, the process of inhaling and exhaling air. So we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide, and the plants also give out oxygen, and they also take carbon dioxide. So the process of breathing in and out in the context of voice training is respiration. And breathing is very, very, very important, because breathing is singing, and without singing there is no breathing. So it's important that you need to master the muscles. Muscles have memory, and they reproduce what they memorize. So anytime you train your muscles for them to be able to contain the air for 1 minute, that is the number of amount of sustenance you can give to your breath control support. And so it's important for you to know what is breath control. So what is breath control? Breath control is a dynamic technique used in singing, because obviously, I mean, everybody knows how to breathe in. So when I say what is breath control, it has to be dynamically done. It's a dynamic technique used in singing, and it has to do with the process of breathing out during singing with conscious effort to have absolute form of relief of feeling emotionally or mentally. So your consciousness is to be able to put your breath out in a very emotional and mental way. You don't want to release all the air in just a split. And so um, it's important that you focus more on how you breathe in. It's the more the air, the better. The more the air, the better. So I want you to say this after me. The singing is breathing,
Singing is breathing,
Singing is
and
breathing.
without breathing, there is no singing.
and
Without
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 breathing,
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 there
there
there's
is
is
no
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 singing.
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 Okay, great. So proper breath control support in singing is very vital in ensuring quality of tonal production. If you want to have a correct tone, if you want to have a good tone, you heard them, and also those who joined early, you heard the music we're listening to by Kimberell. If you listen to it, you listen to the tone, you listen to the dynamics, and she was doing some a lot of riffs and run crazy stuff. To be able to do all this riff and run and clearly do it well, you need to have a lot of air, because without air, you cannot even have a proper tonal production. Because the voice is a wind instrument, like I said, there are three types of instruments. We have the wind instrument, we have the string instrument, and we have the percussion instrument. The wind instrument gives you melodic sound. The string instrument gives you harmonic sound. The percussion instrument gives you the rhythmic sound. So, example of wind instrument is the human voice, is the trumpet, is the saxophone, is the trombone and flute and others. The example of the string instrument has to do with the keyboard, has to do with the guitar, has to do with the bass guitar and all those strings, violin and stuff. And then example of percussion instrument has to do with the conga, the kanjo, the drums, those maracas and all those rhythmic instruments. So the voice dwells on air, and that is why we have what we call wind. Wind supposes giving us a clue that the voice as an instrument cannot function without air. And the voice is the only wind instrument, or the only instrument that cannot be replaced. So if your voice, you get tonal vocal nodules and you have to go through surgery, you can't go and replace it. You can't go and get somebody who is dead their voice back. No, it doesn't work. So you need to really, really take good care of your voice well. And you need to really have a correct way of breathing in and out. Because if you don't breathe in well, it was going to affect you. It is better to breathe in right and correct than to breathe in wrongly, because breathing in wrongly can ruin your voice and cause bad tonal production. So we're going to look at the various types of breaths of breathing, the various types of breathing. We have what we call the clavicular breathing. The clavicular breathing is commonly known as the chest breathing, and it is characterized by a shallow breath, and when it's employed, it can contribute to what we call the throat hotness. So what where the clavicular breathing, it affects our throat. It makes our voice hoarse. The more you breathe from your chest, most of you, when we say breathing, we see your chest going up instead of your diaphragm actually expanding. Your chest is actually expanding. You're actually dwelling on what we call the clavicular breathing, and it is only used during emergencies. Maybe you are singing and you are sustaining a note, and you have about 10 seconds to finish the note, and you have lost breath in your diaphragm, and then you now go to your chest and then take the air from the chest and sustain it to be able to finish the number of seconds that you are required to do in the song. So clavicular breathing is only used for what we call emergency, what we call short breaths. It's called short breath. So you're singing a song, um, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Wosaye, hawoti. And then you breathe in there. You take in a very short breath to continue the phrase, or you didn't breathe in well, and so you want to be able to finish the breath. If you want to be able to sustain the breath to the end of the song, and not let your audience see that you have actually short breath, then you take short breath, like somebody's coming to slap you, and you do you get frightened. That's that kind of holding up of the breath in that split of second is what we call the clavicular breathing. Then the second one has to do with what we call the natural breathing. Natural breathing. Natural breathing has to do with it represents an inborn, effortless way of breathing that everyone is accustomed to, even infants. So when you give birth to a child, the child doesn't learn how to breathe. They just come in with an inborn, inherent ability to be able to breathe in and breathe out. And it's natural. And that kind of breathing is not meant for singing, because the number of air that we need in singing is more than the natural way of breathing. In fact, everybody knows how to breathe in and breathe out. We all breathe and breathe out. But when you are singing, you realize that you need a lot of air, because breathing also causes your diction to be able to come out well. So if you lose breath on a particular note, the word you are saying will sound differently in the mind of people. So the third type of breathing is diaphragmatic breathing, where we sing from. We sing from our diaphragm. We don't sing from our chest. We don't sing from our throat. We don't sing from any part of our body, from the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is a large dome-shaped muscle between the lungs and the abdomen. And we need to exercise the diaphragm because it's a muscle. And I want you to say this after me. Say, muscles have memory, and they reproduce what they memorize. Great. So what it means is that your muscles can only reproduce what you have taught it to memorize. And for praise and worship leaders, you need a lot of training, because you stand on your feet and you sing sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes. And when pastor is even delaying on coming on stage, you sometimes they'll say continue, 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 continue. And you're wondering, how can I continue? How can I, actually, do this well? So basically, we've spoken about the three types of breathing: the clavicular breathing, which is the chest breathing; the natural breathing, which is the normal breathing we breathe; and then the third breathing, which is the diaphragmatic breathing, which is the right way of breathing in and breathing out.